If you've been waiting for this class, I'm so excited to share this technique with you. Today, we are playing with the whitewash technique. Now, if you've tried this in the past, you probably have, maybe you haven't visited this technique for a while. This is a fun one. I'm just checking here to make sure that I am in the right spot. If you're with me and joining me, please leave me a message and let me know you're here. YouTube, sometimes I am not quite sure what goes on. I see I have someone with me. um, just clicking onto my laptop here to make sure I'm live in the right spot, and then I can see your comments. Hopefully I can see them. Okay, there we go. All righty. Hi, Gail. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Hi, Tony. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing, Tony. Alrighty, I can see your chat now. Yay. All right, so we are playing with a bundle that was introduced in the mini catalog, and I have good news and bad news. The bad news is the dies have sold out, okay? So there's no way to forecast this or to speculate what's going to happen with the Stampin' Up! Products. We know that these are super popular products, right? And this product came out technically the end of November. Demonstrators could purchase it and plan and do their classes and stuff like that. So hopefully you've got this bundle. If you didn't get the stamp set, you can still get the stamp set. The dies have sold out and Stampin' Up! Did not replenish them. Hi, Barbara. Hello, Alexina. Hi, Rhonda. Hello, Tanya from Florence, Kentucky. So we're playing with memorable blooms. And when I flip my camera, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. I think it might be backwards and there's a glare from my window on the stamps there. We're going to play with this one. You can still get the stamp set. If you want to order with me here in Canada, a minimum $40 order will get you this class sent to you in the mail. And the die cuts will be done for you. Okay. Some of the detailed die cuts, as I'll explain as the class goes on, which ones you're going to get in your kit. So that's the good news, is that you're still going to get these die cuts pre-done for you, whether you purchase this class with myself or Christine Bertram in the United States, my partner, who also offers this class. You can reach out to Christine. I didn't hear back from her about her kits, but she may have some left. So if you like what you see today and you want to do these 3 cards and get your technique insert for your binder, you can reach out to Christine if you're in the United States. If you're in Canada, I do have kits left. I think I have 4 kits left. Anybody that wants to get in on this free class with purchase, okay? So here in Canada, it's a minimum $40 order. And you do need to send me drop me a line and let me know if that $40 order, because we don't have host codes anymore. Stampin' Up! Has adopted a new reward program. And so when you place a minimum $25 order, you're going to start collecting your own Stampin' Rewards, which is kind of like the other big box stores that have adopted reward programs, like Starbucks, for example. Hi, Marie. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, twice in one day, actually 3 times. We're going to do the Zoom later if you're going to be able to join me. I love to join you live. It is actually what's near and dear to my heart, is to be able to share stamping with you. That makes my heart happy that you're here with me. So thank you for being here. So let's flip the camera and get started. I've got 3 fun cards to share with you. One of them is a super fun fold that you're going to want to see. It's called a swing gate card. And France, yes, France is here. Okay, I'm just looking at my computer. France is with us. France is in the house. Thank you for joining, France. Okay, let's flip the camera and get started on the fun today. All right, here we go. Does that work? Yes, there's my beautiful sunny blue sky in the backyard today. Alrighty, we are flipped and we are ready to go here. Memorable Blooms is available. The stamp set you can purchase in the online store, and then you're going to be able to make these cards. Hi, Diane. I'm happy you joined me as well. Let me just move some things off of my screen here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So if you are a part of this class, you would have received your class kit, which includes all the cut pieces that we can send you. We cannot send you stamped images, of course. You're going to need this stamp set to do the cards. exactly as I've designed them. Now, you don't have to do that, right? I'm going to show you as we go along. If you have other florals at home that you want to substitute, you're welcome to do that. As same as the greetings, you're welcome to substitute, right? But the fun things that we're going to send you with the kits, you're going to be able to still be able to use those die cuts. They're super, super fun. Okay, the dies. Let me show you what they look like. So it's a red rubber cling mount stamp set. The dies are a set of 6. Okay, so we got 6 dies here. We've got 1, 2. I got one still on my machine. Let me grab that. Okay, so this is the number 6 over here. So these 3 here coordinate with the stamped images. Now, if you don't have the stamps, you can use your scrap cardstock that we sent you so that you can stamp your own flowers. Now, over here, this is where the magic happens with these dies. So, so beautiful. And this is why I think they probably sold out, because you can do so much. And as we open up each card kit, I will share with you the beauty of these dies. Hello, everybody. Okay, so let's get started. The first card we're going to bring in is our the black one. Let's see. We have a basic black. I'm just going through my card kits here. I've got a bunch on my desk. That's the fun fold. Okay. We have fun fold. We have a crumb cake card. Let's pull that one in. Okay. In your envelope, you have crumb cake cardstock. Okay. And this is the beautiful stuff you have inside. Let's take this apart one piece at a time, and I'll show you what I've got here. So we've got a crumb cake card base. We've got some bling. We've got little black dots here. We're going to move those off to the side and use them in a second. You've been using it since it launched, Marie? Yes, absolutely. It's such a beautiful one. Now, I love to tie the bows for my customers. So you're going to have a bow here in that very vanilla and black checkered print. There is that beautiful sprig that's already been cut out for you. Hi, Diane from Quebec. Thank you for being here. We have a stitch circle that is from the Stylish Shapes dies, and we're going to stamp our greeting on there. You've got a piece of black and white designer series paper from the Botanical Textures. We're going to use this smoky, it reminds me of a dark sky, like a night sky, right? With the clouds. We're going to use that today, but if you want to flip it over and use the print on the back, it's your card. Feel free to do that. So we've got that. Then we've got a piece of crumb cake. Now, when you get your kits from me, if you get the corner snipped off like that, that's a hint that you need to do something with this piece. You need to stamp and do your technique on here. So what we're going to do on this one is we're going to stamp the big bloom. I'm going to bring in my stamp set and show you this big bloom right here. We're going to stamp with Versamark and put black embossing powder. Now, I've already done that to save a little bit of time on the video here. So we have this piece right here. So we've got that bloom, that gorgeous bloom. I've stamped it with Versamark, put black embossing powder, heated it up, used the coordinating die, and cut that out. So you can use this piece of crumb cake for your own purpose at home, and you can stamp your own flower image or whatever it is you want to stamp and get that nice bloom there. What else do we have? We have a piece of Very Vanilla. This is for the card front, and this is where the magic of these dies. I was so impressed when I cut this hexagon out. Let me bring that in from the dies. And I'm not trying to tease you. I know that they're not available, but I just want to share with you in case you have these at home and you haven't played with them yet. This is the die I use to cut this hexagon opening, and I love how, I'll hold it close to the camera and hopefully you can see the dots that are left behind. This is the negative image here. So that is gorgeous just in itself, right? So we're going to use the negative image, and then you betcha the piece that came out of this die cut, we're going to use it on another card, okay? But I wanted to share how I did that. So there's our Very Vanilla for the front, and then we have Very Vanilla for the inside. Okay, you guys are making sure you know where each other's from. I love it, you guys. Barbara and Diane from Quebec, welcome to the video, you guys. Thank you for being here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this front piece and flip it over. I'm going to take this piece of DSP. That's going to go in the window like that. So we're going to bring in liquid glue and we're going to go around the frame like so. We're just adding that liquid glue to the frame like that. Okay. And then we're just going to take this pattern and lay it down onto the glue. It's big enough that you're going to cover up that opening. There we go. We got that beautiful pattern on the inside too. So that's fun. Oh, actually, we're not going to see it because we're going to mount it onto the card front. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I designed this card. This one is going to go on the front like so. So easy peasy. But that window, can you imagine? Oh, so many different things you could put in that window. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and glue this whole entire piece down onto our card front. Okay, so we're just going to bring in the liquid glue and then easy peasy, we're putting this down onto the card base like this. I have lots and lots of customers that love white and black cards. And when you pull in the crumb cake, it makes it so, I don't know, it's just very elegant, right? Black, white, and vanilla. There's just something amazing about it. Okay, so this sprig, we're going to use this sprig on our card. And let me bring in the sample card. I forgot to show you what we're making. This is what we're making right here. So we've got that sprig that's going to flow along the back of our big bloom here. So to make that work, we're going to snip it in half, okay? So let's go ahead and bring in my snips, and I'm just going to snip it right in half right here. You're not going to see where you snip. We're just going to use the end down here and the top over here like that. Okay. So then we can add some liquid glue and get those down onto the card base. I'm just going to add some little dabs of glue here. And there we go. All right. So now we'll just go ahead, pop them down. Pop that one there. Oop, this one's stuck to my hand. And then this one is going to go just up here like that. Make sure you're not off the card. Make sure you're still in the parameter of the card. Alrighty, so now this piece, once we do our technique on here, we're going to jump right into the technique, the whitewash technique. This circle, through the magic of camera time, I've already embossed that. I thought I did, and it's here on my desk. Okay. We're going to do, actually, instead, we're going to stamp that with memento. So let's bring in my memento. And we're going to stamp. So you can black emboss it all if you want to, or you can stamp with memento. So I'm going to do memento on my circle. So tap, 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 get it nice and inked up here. And we're going to stamp right in the center of that circle. There we go. Okay, so there's my thanks so much. And let's get into the whitewash technique. So let's put our circle over here. The whitewash technique, we're going to be using Craft White. Okay, so Craft White, this is the re-inker that comes with your white ink pad. If you order an ink pad through Stampin' Up, you're going to get an uninked pad and you're going to get this Craft re-inker, which will last you for a very, very long time. This is a pigment-based ink, okay? So it's a dye ink. And you'll see when I put it on my block that it is very thick. So we're just going to take that re-inker. Let me hold it up close to the camera. Maybe you can see the texture. Like when it comes out, it is like the consistency. It's not the normal consistency of our re-inkers. It's thick like a paint, right? So that little drop there is more than enough to do all of the cards I'm going to do today. So you just want to get that onto your block, and then you're going to bring in our painters. The Stampin' Up! Water painters are not available anymore. They are working on it. They're going to give us a heads up whenever they get them back. So I'm just going to use an aqua painter. You can use a paintbrush dipped in water. All of this can work. You can buy paintbrushes at the dollar store. And all you need to do, if you're using a paintbrush, dip it into some water, and we're going to mix in some water. We're going to mix in, thank you, Marie, you like this technique? I do too. So this painter that I'm using has water in the barrel. So I'm squeezing it and some of the water is coming down through. As you can see, I'm just getting like a little palette here. And I'm just going to slowly add a little bit of that white ink, and I'm just making a wash. This is our whitewash. Hello, Christine from Winnipeg. Thank you for being here. So we're just washing that technique, or not washing, we're making the wash technique, wash product. So then we're gonna just simply, I'll bring in my bloom here. I'm gonna color the flowers. So because it's been embossed, heat embossed, you don't need to worry about any of the color of black bleeding onto your beautiful white petals. So you can just have fun and go around and just add that beautiful white color to your flowers, like so. And because we're doing this on a colored cardstock and not a white cardstock, I would recommend doing this on, crumb cake or any other color, because it's very resistant and very, tolerant to the water. So I'm not going to worry about the cardstock fibers lifting on me. We're just going to go ahead and paint this on, and you can also do the leaves if you like. I'm just going to stick to the blooms. I really feel like it's very elegant to just stick to the blooms. So we're going to just hold this up close, and you can see it's drying really quickly. It's very dry here in Alberta. But if you're in a more humid conditions, you can actually use your heat tool and help that dry. And then if you want it a little bit more white, you can come back in and add more over top if you want to. But I'm really happy with how this looks on the crumb cake. Okay, so let that dry. And then we're just going to go ahead and put that onto the card with dimensionals. And it's going to overlap those two sprigs that we snipped apart, just like that, just on the side. So what I'm going to do actually is bring in my dimensionals, and I'm going to put them on the actual background like this. Then I don't have to worry about flipping this over, and if it's wet, you don't have to worry about putting that back down on your work surface and getting that whitewash all over your work surface. So we're just going to put this like so. I want that black spriggy stuff to stick out. Okay, so do I have one? I forgot to peel the backing off. So lift that up, and we'll put another one down here. There we go. Okay, so there we've got that popped up gorgeous, gorgeous bloom. And you can do this with whatever color or whatever bloom you have at home, right? It's going to be really pretty with any kind of floral image. Okay, so that's black embossing on crumb cake. Now in your kit, as I mentioned, you'll have your scrap piece, so you can do your embossing on your scrap piece. And then we have our thanks so much, which is going to get tucked in here, down here at the bottom. I probably should have brought my sprig up a little bit, but that's okay. We're just going to pop this down here with a couple of dimensionals. And when I have a circle, I like to use 3 dimensionals. So we'll do 1, 2, and 3 like that. And we're going to pop this down here like so. There we go. And last but not least, we have our bow, which we're going to put on. I like to put it down here at the bottom of the bloom, and I'm going to use a couple of glue dots to attach my bow. So I'm going to bring in my glue dots and my take your pick tool, and we're going to I'm going to put my glue dot right on my project, and then I can put my bow on top of the glue dot. So here we go. We're just going to put that bow right there. Oh, I love this ribbon so much. It's so pretty. And then we're just going to bring in those black dots, the little sparkly black dots. Now, I want to tell you, I actually, because I have a lot of people in this class, and I want to share with you, I used the sparkle dots. So some of you would have got the sparkle dots, and you can still see the sparkle, and they're faceted. You can see there's like so many different edges on them. You can I used a black Sharpie to color them. So you can customize your own bling by using Sharpie markers, right? Sharpie is permanent. So go ahead, and if you love black dots for all of your elegant cards, use a black Sharpie and let it dry, and you've got black dots till the cows come home, right? Okay, so let's do the inside. The inside of this card, I'm going to bring in the stamp that says, I appreciate your thoughtfulness. Let's get that one on a block. And we're going to stamp using memento, and you can black emboss this one. If you have all your powder and stuff out, you can go ahead and emboss everything if you want to. I'm just going to use my memento. And hello, Diane. Thank you so much. I'm happy you like this card. I like this one too. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I love the font from this stamp set. They mix typeset and cursive together. I am always a big fan of when Stampin' Up! Mixes their text. Not text, what am I trying to say? The font on the stamp set. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to pop this in to the inside. And there we go. And there we go. Okay, so there's card number 1 using the whitewash technique. Now, when you join my club here and you get these kits every month, I do require my club members to fill out a form and let me know their intentions to join so that I can plan my purchases and get all of these products in your hands in a timely manner. The ladies receive this technique sheet. This goes in their binder. So you can use the Memories of More binder if you like. You can purchase that from Stampin' Up! And then I always send them the sample of the technique and then the description. So after 10 months, you'll get a reward for being 10 consecutive, being in the club for 10 consecutive months. And you will have these 10 techniques that you can flip back through your binder and remember all the beautiful things you've learned in the technique club. I always say, you know, in the past, ladies would be in the technique club and they're like, oh, I love the technique club, but I forget how to do the techniques because I give the card away. Well, now you can go ahead and give your cards away because you're going to have these sheets for your binder, or you can actually glue them back to back like this and have the technique on one side and your description on the other, punch a hole and put them on a ring. So if you don't want to have a binder, you can store them on a ring and keep all your ideas together. Alrighty, let's move on to the second card. Our second card is going to do a little bit of a different embossed technique. So the second one, we're going to bring in the card base that is basic beige. And this is the look of the card. Here's a take a look at this card. We're going to use white embossing powder on black cardstock, and we're going to do the exact same thing that I did with the painting of the wash technique with the whitewash technique, but we're going to do it on the black flowers, and look how elegant that looks. We're bringing in the mini 3D corrugated folder, and we're going to add a strip of crumb cake to the background. And do you remember from the first card I did where I cut this outline, the piece that came out, we're using it on this card. All right, so that's where that came from. Okay, so we're going to pull in that card base, and we have, this is basic beige. Oh, I love basic beige. It's so beautiful. Let's move this ink pad out of the way so we can make some room here. And basic beige. All right. I'll leave the card up here in the corner so you can see what I'm doing. Let's make some room here. Let's move some things around. Okay, so there's the card we're making. You've got a black piece of cardstock in your kit that has the corner snipped off. That means you're going to have to do something with that. So what we're going to do, I've already went ahead and did this. We're going to use this bloom, which is your 2 flowers, and we're going to use this one right here. Okay, we're going to do both of those with Versamark ink, and we're putting white embossing powder on it this time. Okay, now I've gone ahead, so you didn't have to listen to my heat tool the entire class. I've gone ahead and done that, and I cut out these. Okay, so that's what they look like, and we're going to do our whitewash technique on there. All right, so let's move this off to the side. Sorry, my arm's in the way. Let's see, am I missing any of your questions? Okay, thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have our hexagon. We've got our bling here. We'll move that off to the side. We've got our sprig. This has been cut out of crumb cake this time. And there's our corrugated piece. And we've got a basic black card front, and then a very vanilla inside. So we're putting very vanilla onto basic beige. You can see the slight difference in color, but it's really, really elegant. I love it. Okay, So first things first, I'm going to put this corrugated paper across my black. And you can see that, hi Christine, thanks for joining. You can see that when you do, this is purposefully a little bit longer because when you corrugate things and they go through the mail, sometimes the corrugated parts get flattened out a little tiny bit. So don't worry if yours is a little bit too long. It's actually by design so that you can actually trim off the edges. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in our liquid glue, and I'm going to add, you want to use your liquid glue on this piece of corrugated paper, corrugated cardstock, pardon me, quite liberally because it's bumpy, right? And you need to do a lot of glue to make sure that it stays put. So we're going to put this on the middle of our basic black piece here. And you can use the lines on your Glass Mat Studio to help you to straighten things up. I think I need a little bit of help today. All right, so there's our piece there. Okay, so then once you're happy with the position, then you can just bring in your snips. And yeah, I'm really happy to do this technique too, Christine. I haven't done this in a long time. And there's so many things you can do with the whitewash technique. You can actually add color to it too after it dries. You can come in with your blends or your watercolor pencils and bling it up a little bit more. So fun. Okay, let's go ahead and put this right onto the card front. Okay, so we're just gonna add our glue to the background of the basic black, and then boom, we've got a card front ready to go. Okay, so there's that. Then we've got our hexagon, which is going to go up on dimensionals. But first I want to stamp You've Been on My Mind. I love that. How many people could I send that to, right? You've been on my mind. Oh, no worries, Tony. Hello. Thank you for being here for the time that you could be here. The replay will be here. So come back and check it out. All right, You've Been on My Mind. We're going to stamp that on the top kind of right edge of this hexagon, straight down and straight up. All right, then we're going to take that sprig, and you can tell if I hold it onto my sample here, you'll see that it is longer, right? Like I'm going to just snip it so we can extend it because you're not going to see the stuff that's underneath anyway. So let's just snip that in half. Snipperdoodle. Okay, so we're going to put a piece down the bottom and then a piece up top with a little gap in the middle that will be covered up from my blooms here. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue to this like that. Tap it down, and then we'll put this one down the bottom like that. So we've got about a 1-inch gap there by splitting those. Oh, thanks for your kind words, Tony. I'm so grateful for your kindness. That is so wonderful. Okay, so this is going to go on here with dimensionals, but I'm going to let that sit for a second while we do the whitewash on these two black cardstock pieces. All right, so let's bring back, you have a watercolor painter, you can use paintbrush like I mentioned before, whatever way you want to do this technique, it's totally fine. You could even probably use a Q-tip if you wanted to. Just make sure that you water down that craft ink because it is quite thick. So here I am, I'm grabbing some more of that white color. Now this time I'm going to go into the leaf part of this one, like so. There we go. And then we're going to do all of the leaves on this one, the open areas basically. And there we go. Now, yesterday I taught this class at Boston Pizza, and some of the ladies did the whole entire thing, and that works too. So whatever you want to do with your images, you can go over them multiple times. You can go over the entire image. The heat embossing, the purpose of the heat embossing is to resist the water from the water painter, right? So you don't have to worry, like I can go right over this flower bloom and the center is embossed, so I know it's not going to smudge or bleed. I'm going back for some more of that beautiful white color. I could see me making these for a wedding card, a birthday card, even a sympathy card, you know, the ones that we always need, right? You've been on my mind. And then the inside, you can write your sympathy message. You know, I have several ladies ask me, when are you doing a Stamp-A-Stack for sympathy cards? I need sympathy cards. And that's the kind of card that you can't wait for a class, right? Hi, Krista. Thanks for joining. You can't wait for a class. You need sympathy cards when you, like, you know, when someone unfortunately passes away, you can't wait for, oh, you know, Rose or Christine are doing a class next month. No, you need a class now. You need a card now, right? So grab your supplies, grab these stamps, and you've been on my mind. Oh, such a beautiful greeting, right? It basically says what we are thinking. Like, I'm thinking about you. You've been on my mind. Okay, so there's our whitewash on the black. Isn't that pretty? I don't know what I like more, the black whitewash or the crumb cake. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments so what you think you like more. Okay, so here we're going to layer the sprig of greenery going that way. And then we're going to bring in the floral and lay it right on top. So we've got a layered look here. And this I want to put on with liquid glue because I don't want to make my card too thick, thicker than it needs to be. So let's go ahead, put our liquid glue on here. And I mean, it dries pretty much instantly. So we're just going to go ahead and put this here. And then we'll put the bloom right over top like that. Okay. And now my hexagon is not mounted down yet. So we're just going to gently flip that over and bring in my dimensionals and pop this onto the card front. I'm going to use, let's see, at least 4. I think I'll use 5 dimensionals to mount this up. You don't want to be stingy with your dimensionals. Use a lot of dimensionals. They will definitely hold up for you. Marie says, I'm a tone on tone kind of girl, so black. You like the black one? Yes, I do too. Okay, so let's go ahead and center this in the middle of the card. And boom, that is almost done. Now, I should have 3 of these. One of them has gone for coffee. Things happen in my craft room. Anybody else relate? I'm sure that little dot will show up. Okay, I've got an extra one right over here. We'll go ahead. We need to put 3 on, right? There's beauty in 3. So we'll put 1 right there, 1 here, and another one right there. Look at that. So beautiful. Okay, the inside of this card, you're awesome. You could say you've been on my mind. You're awesome. If you want to leave it blank, you could do that. Thursday Gremlins, Marie. Yep, exactly. You could leave it blank if you're doing a sympathy card, or you can grab from the stamp set. We have love and thanks. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. There's also, you can't see it under my sticker up here. You mean the world to me, right? You've been on my mind. You mean the world to me. I really like that. I think I'm going to grab that one. And you've been on my mind. Well, if someone's on your mind, they probably do mean the world to you, right? So we're going to just get that onto a block. And we're going to stamp with Memento. Good old Memento. Okay, tap, tap, tap. And you mean the world to me. I could send this to my dad. My dad loves all the artsy stuff, right? He's an artist in his heart and well, he's an artist for sure in real life. He's a carpenter, but he loves to do intarsia woodworking art, and he does amazing work, and he is always on my mind. I always have things that grow legs and walk away. The Moody Crafter, Joy Moody. Yeah, we can all relate to that, right? We have things in our craft rooms that go for walks, but then sometimes they come right back. They just go for, I say they're just gone for coffee, and they'll be back. They'll be back. Usually when I clean up, they come back. Okay, so there's our card number 2 with more whitewash on the black. Again, if you're just joining me, my first card was whitewash with the crumb cake. I love it. I can't decide. I love them both. Let's move on to my third card. My third card that I want to share with you is a fun fold. Oh my goodness. I love this one. Okay, so you're going to pull in, if you've got card kits from myself or Christine, you're going to want to pull in your card kit that is basic black. Okay, that's oh, there's that single dot that I was looking for. See, it came back. it grew legs and came back. Alrighty, so this card, let me show you what we're making. I'm calling this Crafting is Awesome. You'll see what I made. Oh, okay, I can't wait to see, France. Okay, so this is called a swinging gatefold, and here's the aerial shot. Sometimes it's helpful to see how the card looks from the top, right? So it opens like a normal card. It'll fit in an envelope, no problem. It folds flat like a normal card, you know. We have some pieces to this. This piece here, the hexagon on the front, is a swinging part, okay? So you can see it's attached, but it moves back and forth. It swings. And this little flower on the inside is mounted on dimensionals. I'm not on the screen, sorry guys. It's mounted on dimensionals so that it can be a little wedge, so that when you put this on your mantle, it will stand up like that. It will stay put. It'll just bring up and with that popped up flower there. Okay, so let's make this one. Now, I do want to say, I think if you're in Canada and you received and you're in my club, my technique club, I think we forgot to put these little tabs, but I'm going to show you. It's not a big deal. I'm sure you have some cardstock at home, little strips of cardstock that you can do for the swinging. So if I show you in the background, there's these little tabs back here. This may have been omitted from your kit, but I'm going to show you how to cut them really quick. Okay, so let's bring in the card package and we're going to get started on this one. Okay, so basic black. Open up your card kit and we'll see what we've got. We've got a card base. And remember, I was going to tell you some more details about those dies. Now's the time, my friends. Oh my gosh. These dies, let's see what we've got here. Okay, so we've got black baker's twine. We've got this amazing detailed die cut. Then we have another hexagon that's been cut out of basic white. And we've got 3 more black bling dots. Okay, so this one here, how do you get this? Now, if you've purchased the dies, yay, good for you that you received them. Unfortunately, they are sold out and Stampin' Up! Did not buy any more of them, so you are one of the lucky ones. If you, Christine, if you're still with me, can you let me know in the comments how many kits you have left? I have 4 kits left for anybody in Canada that would like them, so I'll be, and I can do more if you guys want to start your consecutive subscription, because this is what this is, right? When you do 10 of these months, 10 of these classes in a row, you're going to get all the benefits, and I'll add you to my private Facebook group. You're going to get to come to this, the Zoom class, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But let me share with you what I've done. If you take both of these dies together and put them together and run them through a piece of black cardstock, this is what happens. You get the stitching on the outside edge. It's coming from this die right here. The stitching is coming from the inside of this die. Okay, so that's the stitching on here. And then you're going to get the detail from the floral bloom. Now, sometimes this is a very detailed die. So I would recommend, sorry, I'm trying to pick mine up. I would recommend putting your cardstock on top. All right, this one here just needs a couple of little nudges with my take your pick tool to get the inside parts of these out. I'm just going to pop it around and just do that real quick. They're cut no problem. It cuts through like butter. But sometimes, you know, when you're cutting tons and tons of these, it's you will get these card kits with your die cuts like this detailed die already cut for you. So make sure you use a take your pick tool or something sharp and pokey to poke out these little tiny bits. It won't take long. They are definitely cut. The dies are outstanding. They cut through. So that's what you've got. This now is going to go on to the white. So we're going to flip that over, grab your liquid glue, and add a little bit of glue to the edge of this hexagon die, the center of the flower. So I'm adding my glue to the thick parts of this die cut, okay? And then you can actually let this sit. I prefer to do that actually, because then when you go to pick it up, it's not all really messy and goopy. I think Christine likes to refer to that as letting it marinate. So you can let, I'm sorry, my head's in the camera, guys. I was putting that glue on. We can let that sit for a minute. And because nothing's being stamped on here, it's just going to get stuck together in just a second. So let's move on to the parts that you're going to need. You're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. Let me grab a piece of scrap cardstock from my stash. Let me see here. Oh, I got a piece on my desk right here. So 3 inches by 1/2 inch, okay? And it's going to be scored in the middle. So that's all you need. It's super, super easy. Little strips of cardstock. This is the swinging gate part. So we're going to do 3 inches. Okay, 3. And then 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. So there's 1 and 2. So these are the 2 pieces that if you're from Canada, I know I sent these measurements to Christine, so I'm sure you've got them if you're in the United States, but this we forgot. We forgot to put these into your kits. So that's okay. It's a quick fix, easy fix. So we're going to take these 3-inch pieces and fold them in half. We're making the swing. We're making the swinging part of this gate. All right, so there's that. We got 2 of them. What are we doing with these little pieces? We're going to move them off to the side and bring in the 2 corrugated pieces. Now we've got a lengthwise corrugated going on, like a vertical corrugated. And these are the same size. We're going to add the DSP to the outside edge. So 1 on that side and 1 over here. So let's get the glue flowing. Flip them over. Okay, so glue, 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 like that. And then, so 1 on one side, 1 on the other. Okay, 1 there and 1 over here. And then we're going to attach the first part of these little swinging mechanisms. So 1 has to go underneath. So you want to put this one here, under here. This one is going to go under here. And we've got our DSP on the outside edge. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add glue to this little tab. I'm going to slide it under my white cardstock like that. Okay, so there's my flap. It's going to be attached at the back. And then this one, we're putting glue, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to attach it at the back. Now, don't worry if they're not perfectly lined up. It's totally okay because you're not going to see these pieces. So I'm just doing my best to line them and wiggle them so that they're straight and next to one another. But this is what we want to see. We want to see this like little butterfly, I guess you'd call it, the way it's fanned out here. So can you see that on the screen? I hope you can. So that's all we need. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So let's move that off to the side. And my glue has been partially dry, so it's not going to make my fingers messy. Let's do this. We're going to put this on the front. So we're going to put this right on here and attach it. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, so stunning. All right, so let's make sure it's level with the sides. Okay, so there's the focal point. This is what's going to be sitting on the top of my card, on the top of these little swinging parts. But first we want to flip them over and add glue to all the edges. Here, we're going to get this down onto our flaps of our card. Okay, like that. All right, so now let's bring back our card base. I don't even think I showed you the card base. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4, and we've got a center score line right here. So I'm going to grab my bone folder and we're going to burnish that center line. And then we're going to pick one of these up at a time and add them. Okay, I'm putting my DSP on the outside edges of these flaps like so. And this one right here, same thing on the outside edge. So you can see they're lined up like that. Let's see, make sure they're lined up. There we go. So we've got our pieces on. Now the last thing we need to do is take these 2 little swinging parts and put our liquid glue on there like that. So fun. And then you can choose where you want your flowers to sit. You can put them, I'm going to put mine like this. I want my white space to be on the top right of my card, because in your kit, you will have scrap cardstock in crumb cake that you can stamp. You've already got this one, this rectangle. You can stamp whatever greeting you have at home. I did mine with black embossing powder. And then we've got this one, which is going to be the anchor. Okay. And again, whatever stamps you have at home will work just fine. But right now, we're just going to take the hexagon and lay it down in the center of the card over top of the glue. Press it down and let that glue set. And while that's setting, we can go ahead and bring in our twine, the black twine here. I'm going to put a block on it and make sure that it sets good. There. Okay. So now we can take our greeting. So you've got your greeting. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of tear and tape to the back of this greeting. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put this on the back and peel it off the backing. And we're going to fold back like that. And we're going to take the twine. I'm actually going to wrap that around 3 of my fingers a couple of times and come back to the middle and make a loop. Making it just a little bit of a loop. Going to do a little twist in the middle of this loop, and we're going to lay that down on the middle of this greeting, just like that. Now, if it looks wonky, it's okay. You can pick it up and you can fix it. You can maneuver it, but it's supposed to look a little bit, you know, off kilter. It's totally art, right? We're just adding that little bit of twine to the back. And then that is going to go on the top over here. But I want to make sure that I'm not putting glue on the outside edge. I want to make sure that this is going to stay here and not glue my card shut. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of dimensionals. If you're really worried about that happening, you could come in here with your dimensionals and put one there, one there. Now you know you don't have any glue off the edge. Now my greeting does have a little bit of tear and tape on here. I'm going to peel a little bit back so that it does not interfere. So in hindsight, I probably should have just put my tear and tape in the middle, going up and down, but we're going to make this work. Okay, so let's peel off the backing for those dimensionals, and we're going to put this on right here. You are awesome. Look at that. Okay, so it is definitely free to move. This is the swinging gate part. Okay, so we've got that done. So now the inside, we need a piece of basic white. What did I do with mine? Oh, that's okay. We can cut another one. You should have a piece of basic white for the inside of your card. We're going to bring in 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. And I think I might have trimmed mine to make the little swings. It's okay. It's all good. Okay, so this is going to go on here. And then I stamped "You Mean the World to Me." It's totally up to you. You're awesome. You could say thank you on this one. Love and thanks. I think I'm going to say thanks so much. Let's bring that stamp in. It's really, really up to you what you want to stamp on your inside. So I'm going to stamp. Let's move this off to the side here. I'm going to stamp "Thanks so much." Give yourself enough room. This bloom is going to go right here on the edge. And we're going to do a little bit of whitewash on that because I'm actually using the technique on 3 of the cards today, which is fun. It's just showing the versatility of the whitewash technique. It's so fun. All right, so this is going to go right here. And we can even go ahead and put it down onto the card middle. And we'll do the whitewash technique once it's already put together, because that whitewash technique is so easy to do. All right, make sure we don't have it upside down, and we don't. All right, there we go. We've got the inside, and we're going to bring back my whitewash palette and get some more water flowing through my bristles here and get that wash going again. You can squeeze this aqua painter, water painter, get more water going through, and then you are free to do the fun whitewash painting over top of the bloom. And this is really an emboss resist technique as well, right? Because we had embossed the flower, and I wouldn't recommend doing this over top of memento because the memento would bleed. So I recommend using black embossing powder. You could get away with using StazOn ink because it's a permanent ink if you want to do it that way. And I don't want to close that down. Let's just do this there because it's still drying. So I'm going to grab my 3 black pieces, or my black bling. We're going to put one on the greeting. I'm trying to not close the card because my whitewash is drying. Can I do it? Can I do it? Yep. Yes, I can. Okay, so now we're going to put one, let's put one on there, and we're going to put one down on the front of the card, right down here. Maybe. Let's pick that up. That one fell onto my glass mat. Okay, we'll put that one. This does not want to cooperate. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay. There's the card. This is what it will look like in the closed position and the open position. Still lots of room to write, and you've got that anchor right there. So let's bring back all of those beautiful cards for our April technique class, which is water. Yeah, it's not called water. It's called whitewash. We're using white craft ink, and we're making a wash, and we're coloring for the whitewash technique. What do you think? Do you like this? Gail says all very gorgeous cards. Thank you so much, Gail. I'm so happy you like these, and I'm so happy you're part of this 10 consecutive months. You guys can join any month you want. As long as you go for 10 consecutive months, you're going to get all of the perks, all of the benefits of being in this amazing, amazing class. Thank you so much, Krista. I thank you, Alexina. I look forward to joining you again next month. We're going to be playing with the in colors next month, so that's going to be a fun class. Stay tuned. I don't have the projects to share with you. They are coming soon. So I hope you'll join us and be a part of this amazing group. I'd love to add you to the Facebook group and get you started here. If you live in Canada, we do a Zoom call. We're going to be doing that in about 30 minutes. So be sure to grab your kits. If you have questions about what I've just done, you want to join me there, let me know. I'll be posting that link on our private Facebook group. So, and if you like what you saw today and you live in the United States, reach out to Christine Bertram. I'm sure she has kits. She can help you get started with learning these new techniques and to get these products in your hands. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Pardon my finger as I and